This video will take you through the new payroll approval function that is available to branch and regional managers. This function here will be accessible from the time menu and it'll be called payroll approval. What we need you guys to do is pick the sector that you want to approve the time for. Most of you will only have access to one, but obviously this is our test environment and I've got access to everything. So essentially you pick your sector, then you click on this view and validate payroll data here. And what this will then do is bring back all timesheet data, for every site that is within the specific sector that is marked as approved. Okay, so I've only approved one site here for this, which is Priorswood Murph, but I know at the moment I'm approving a total of 14 worker timesheets totaling 805 hours and paying out 7,285, and I'm going to get in 9,563. Okay, down here then is where you are able to see that same data set and also where we've got some exceptions, such as pay being greater than charge, the total number of holiday hours and pay, and then anywhere where you've got pay greater than 800 quid, hours greater than 70, bonus greater than £300, and any national minimum wage breaches that we've identified. Okay, so as you can see in here, this is all pretty straightforward. I would, in this instance, download my payroll data, which comes down in a CSV format. Just to the left of the screen here, you can't see it, unfortunately. It's off the what's being recorded. But essentially, this here is the report that is generated when you click on that view the payroll data. And in there, obviously, you can see all the information broken down by individual line for each worker that we've got for an approved timesheet for. Okay. What you notice is, or what you need to be aware of, is that if somebody approves a timesheet after you've run this report, it isn't dynamic, so you'll need to run this report again. So I just want to show you how that will look. Okay, so this is the timesheet for that week. I'm just going to approve this one, which can still be done up to the point where you validate payroll. Okay, so I'm just going to put a reason there and then approve it. And then in here for our man Basil Ahmad here, I'm just going to add in some bits and pieces. So I'm going to amend his hours so we get a couple of exceptions. So I'm going to give him 20 hours a day. Obviously this would never happen, but I'm giving 20 hours a day so that he's exceeding 70 hours, and I'll save that. I'll add a bonus of 500 quid, which I'm going to charge to the client at 550, and I'll give him one of those just so that we've got that exception as well of the bonus amount being greater than what we've set the threshold to. Okay, so at the moment, obviously in here, if I run this again, so if I just go back to where we started and I view that again, you will notice now I've only got 13 timesheets to approve as opposed to the 14 that I had before, because the one I've just amended hasn't been approved yet. Okay, obviously as well, because that one's isn't in there, there are no exceptions. Okay, so I'm just going to go into here, approve this timesheet, and then when I go back into here and run this report again, what you'll notice is that my 14 timesheets are back there again, and I've now got some exceptions in here as well. Okay, now if I only want to check the payroll exceptions, so essentially the stuff that appears here, there's another report which you can download, which is this one, downloading payroll exceptions. And when I open that, it brings back the information for those lines where there are exceptions. Okay, so as you can see here on this one, I have got information for 2 lines of pay, one being the fact that my bonus exceeds £500 and the other being the fact that my man has worked 100 hours and he's getting paid £905. And if I go right across to the right hand side here, starting at column V is where my exceptions will be identified, and you can check that down through. Okay, so that's the way in which that works. As and when then you've checked things through and you're happy with the fact that everything in there is correct, so even though it's an exception, it's something that you're aware of and that's been validated and approved, what you need to do then is click validate payroll here, read through the message, which essentially tells you that you're confirming that hours, pay, charge are correct, exceptions have been investigated, client's prior approval to process an exception has been obtained where relevant, and obviously the payroll submission is final and everything that you're going to approve is ready to be processed. All right. When you click on validate, then you will essentially remove everything from your current queue. So if I go back to the home page again and run my same report for the same sector, there's nothing left in there then for me to approve. Okay. If at any point you get informed by one of your consultants or someone that they've approved another timesheet prior to payroll or the payroll process being started by the payroll team, you can run this report up to that point, obviously, and validate those bits and pieces there. Okay.